Hey, what's up, all y'all out there in YouTube land? My name is Drake. We got another video for you. By we, I mean I. I meant that royal we. And this video is my last one. I'm feeling a little bit sick. Also, I'm not left-handed. One of those videos, the image is flipped because I wanted to look at myself while I was recording it, and it wasn't a good idea. I looked pretty ugly, and I look kind of sick, and it's okay because I'm sick. But just so y'all know, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. I don't got the COVID, I got the shot. But nevertheless, I slept with my window open, and I think it caused me to get a little sick. Anyways, so look, right now we're going to be talking about the guitar as a rhythmic instrument. It is viewed many times as a melodic instrument, and it definitely drives the melody in songs, and it definitely has a melodic capacity. But even within that vein, it is, I would argue, still primarily a rhythmic instrument. Even if you're playing a guitar solo over a rhythm guitar, over a bass that's also driving the rhythm, and a drums, a whole drum set, the whole thing, and all of that rhythm behind you, the lead guitar is still running in a rhythmic capacity. So it's a very important concept to understand, because in the context of a band, the lead guitar, rhythm guitar, all of that has limiting effects on what the drums and what the bass can do, which comes full circle in also affecting the rhythm. And the rhythm is probably the most important part about the song. There's plenty of funk songs that really just use the one chord vamp, and what makes it interesting is the rhythmic changes, the rhythmic dynamics between all the different instruments. So it's very important to understand the limiting effect that the guitar player has on the other instruments and how that affects the overall song. Now, when I say limiting effect, what I mean is closely to like a Sudoku game. So let's say, for those of you who play Sudoku, like if you got the whole thing open, right? What minimum amount of words, or sorry, numbers do you need to put in before it binds the rest of the numbers, if that makes sense? So like, if the whole thing is just open, yeah, you could just fill it in, without breaking any of the rules. But there's so many different ways that you can fill in that board. Same thing with the rhythm. The rhythm could be pretty much anything that you want it to be. But once the guitar speaks, once the guitar enters the conversation, it limits what the drums can do. Which therefore limits what the bass guitar can do. So that's an important concept to understand. So like, let's take a chord progression, for example, or let's go with one at the end of the extreme. So funk is like what I would consider one end of the extreme, where the guitar is almost acting like a drum. So something like that, like. It's just that one chord that you're playing, but it's rhythmic. It's driving the song. And then the other end of the extreme would be just a chord. But if you think about it, the way that you're striking the chord impacts the way that the drums is going to respond. So therefore it impacts the rhythm. So let's take a simple chord progression and see what kind of effect that can have on the drum set in driving the rhythm. So let's take a chord progression like this. So let's go with E major 7, threw on a little chorus over there to make it a little fancy, you know, to a B major 7. I'm sorry, to an A major 7, to a B major 7 afterwards. So E major 7, to B major 7. Very pretty sounding chords. If you don't know what those how to do that chord, I'm doing it on the A string, and it's E to B, and then you got a B flat in there, and then another E. You can kind of like give it a little bit of vibrato. It sounds nice. To A major 7. So let's just do that as whole notes, or whatever that is. So the drums is wide open. So that's just like a beat that I have in my head, right? But the drums could be doing a lot of stuff there. It's totally wide open. You know, it's a 4/4 beat. The drums can do whatever, pretty much whatever it wants within that 4/4 beat, you know. But once the rhythm guitar starts coming into play, let's say the drummer isn't playing anything. It starts with the rhythm guitar. So let's throw a rhythmic strum into that chord progression. So like right there is going to be the bass drum. Right there is going to be the snare drum. Now, a good drummer is going to throw in some things like some ghost notes there, some ghost notes in there. Some open up and closed hi-hat hits, maybe even switch to the ride. But you see how the rhythm guitar gives, so much structure to the rhythm of the song just there. You know, so now let's just take that same rhythm. Let's imagine what the bass would do. But you see how starting on that gives a lot of structure to and therefore limitations to what the bass can do over that chord progression. So the important thing to remember in all that is the rhythmic effect that your strumming patterns as a rhythm guitar player have on the other two main rhythmic instruments within that song. Now, as a guitar player, you're going to fall, especially when you first start playing with a band and when you're first writing your own music, is you're going to fall into the same sort of rhythmic traps and the same sort of rhythmic patterns. So some of the things that can help you diversify the way that your strumming attacks are going to come into play as a rhythm guitarist is starting sometimes with the drums, so maybe have a chord progression in mind, but not necessarily a strumming pattern, right? And then ask your drummer, be like, hey, come up with a beat real quick, and then try to adapt your chord progression to what your drummer is doing. And then maybe at some point when you're jamming to it, you might have a hybrid. You might have a something in between. Your drummer was doing, and then melding that into the chord progression that you had in mind, and then it could be like a hybrid rhythmic pattern. But for me, that's a really important concept as a rhythm guitarist, is understanding the impact that you have in driving the rhythm for the entire band and the rhythm of the song. For some it might be obvious, versus for some people they might be like, yeah, I hadn't really thought about it like that. But that's it's a quick one, just something that I wanted to bring up, and hope y'all enjoyed it. If you like the content, hit subscribe, hit the like button, or maybe go over to Arby's and grab yourself, I don't know, a Yita or something. Well, anyways, that's all I had left, and right now I'm gonna go get some rest. And you guys have a good one, and take it easy, stay safe out there, and enjoy the music. Bye bye.